Hey everybody, it's Norm from Tested.com here at Comic-Con 2017. Now this is the booth of anatomy tools, and Kevin, you're a sculptor who works with artist Andrew Carr, who develops anatomy references.
Yeah, this is true.
So things that can, like, this is a pretty big scale anatomy. Can you tell me about the purpose of these maquettes and how sculptors like you and beginning sculptors learn from them?
So this is a 1/3 scale, and it's a pretty exact replica of the model that it was developed from. This was first made 12 years ago, and it's still being used in film studios and artist studios like all over the world. So he has a background working for Industrial Light and Magic, and he's taught so many artists who have worked there and all over the film industry. But this is sort of a desktop model. It was originally designed because there wasn't really great anatomy reference that was out there. So he decided to go out and meet with doctors and surgeons and other very, very knowledgeable artists to develop this sculpt. And then from there was able to develop further ones down the line and then work with other great artists like Carlos Huante over here. And so we kind of just sell products that we think are going to be the most useful for artists and have proven to be the most successful or the most useful for highly successful artists that are out there that know it.
So as a sculptor yourself, if you're looking at this, how can this help you with when you're sculpting physically?
Well, what's great is even if you're a 2D artist or even a 3D artist, most anatomy reference you're going to get out of a book, and most of those images are going to be from the front or from the side, and luckily, if you're really lucky, you'll get something from an angle that might be really good or really accurate. So here you have a very accurate representation that you can view from all angles. It rotates, it can sit on your desk, you can hold it, you can also remove pieces of it.
Oh, wow.
And so you can have a really good reference for the inside of the arm, for example, or if you're just trying to do a head study, you can do it from here. And because it is an exact 1/3 scale replica, you can also scale it up or down to what you need.
Right.
And then from this, he was able to develop the 1/6 scale ones that we have here in a few different varieties.
And you have not only the proportions between all the parts of the body, but also just what muscles and what bones exist there. So you're going to get that right. And then as the line got developed, I mean, this is different stages of where the human body is, right? In terms of where the muscles are and also the bones.
Yeah, so on the left side over here, he's taken off some major muscles like pectoralis major or the deltoid, so you can see some connection points that are underneath there. Or on the back side over here, he has some pieces broken away or the IT band broken away, so you can see everything that's underneath. Even if it's not visually as important, it is pretty important to understand what's going on underneath so that when the figure moves, you have a better understanding of what's happening, because not everyone just stands like this.
Right, and exactly. So as the line got developed, have there been different poses developed with this in mind?
It sort of developed a little bit. So with this one, obviously we have the hand that's sort of semi-pronated on this one versus an anatomical pose over here. But these were pretty important. So these are all developed in ZBrush, and this was clay sculpted.
Oh,
but this skeleton, for example, right here, fits exactly inside of the body. So everything is a perfect fit as it goes down. So you know that if you're going to take a measurement or compare something against something else, it's going to match exactly to the human being that was worked off for the model.
Right. Now what about things non-humans, right? Animals, right? Do you guys also have maquettes for animals as well?
Yeah, so those are actually in the works, and we're working with a series of highly skilled artists to develop that. The first one coming out is going to be the horse, and if you go on the website, you can actually check out some previs models for it. But we have a whole huge lineup of animals that are supposed to be coming out as well. And then he has a whole team of artists working on it.
Creatures as well. So for these, is this like a painting kit? Am I supposed to have this and paint over it, or are artists using this also as reference, like an inspiration?
So I guess it depends. Some people have bought them and used them as painting kits, but I think mostly, I mean, Carlos Huante is a pretty well-known creature designer, and sometimes we just have casts like this where you can see parts where he has the clay marks still on there. So instead of just seeing it as this, fantastical creature, which it is, and it's an incredible piece of work, also if you're trying to become a sculptor of that caliber, you now have a reference point of going like, oh, this was made in clay with someone's hands. Right. And so you have a nice piece of he made it to that scale, these are the tools that he used, and you can have a cast of it that you can study for yourself.
They're so striking, and they look great just as display pieces themselves.
Yeah, and they're supposed to too. I mean, even if you have good reference, it's nice to have something that, it also looks nice.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin, for sharing me some of these maquettes. Thank you. Great to meet you.
Yeah, good meeting you too.